With me, Danny Beardsley. He likes to dip chicken in salt. Dan.
I do, yes.
How are you, dude?
I'm alright, dude. Did you enjoy my little picture of Jennison of a plate of chicken, some gherkins, and a little pile of salt to dip them both in? It's a delicacy.
Has it got a name? Has that dish got a name?
It hasn't got a name.
You should give it a name.
I'll think of one.
Do it now. Go.
Slicken. Salt and chicken. Slurkin. Okay. Salt, chicken and gherkin. No, doesn't work, does it?
No, it'll do. Slurkin.
Schlurkin. Schlurkin.
Gonna have a plate of schlurkin.
It's very easy to do.
Yes. It didn't look that nutritionist.
Nutritionist.
I was going to say nutritional. Nutritious.
Nutritious, that's the word. Well done.
That's the word.
Everyone congratulate Danny on talking English.
Dude, coffee chat.
I guess dreaming on the land with a coffee in the hand. Caffeine Wonderland.
Oh, so this week, Danny, what have we got? Because I will be honest, mine is nearly gone already.
It's a medium roast.
Okay.
Should have done this earlier. It's quite cold. But I do like cold coffee. It's Costa.
Oh.
It's just their standard roast.
A standard Costa.
Yeah,
quite
standard
nice.
Costa.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, I actually prefer it at home. I feel like sometimes it's a bit burnt. It's a bit burnt. You think the same?
It's a darker roast normally, yeah.
Yeah,
in the coffee shops.
That was a medium. It's quite nice.
Not too bad.
And we've got it with oat milk, which I find is a little bit creamier.
It's not creamier than actual milk, is it? But, you're not allowed that anymore because of your many intolerances.
I know.
I like to keep bringing them up, sorry. Tears are rolling down his face right now.
Dude, what have you been listening to?
Wow. It's like been a bumper time for music at the minute. There's loads of releases, haven't they?
Yes.
But the biggest release is probably, even in Arcadia, by Sleep Token.
Oh, you're a big fan, aren't you?
I am a big fan, but initial reaction, I'm a bit disappointed by the latest album.
That must hurt. That must burn for you to say that. 'Cause I know how much of a fan you are.
Yeah,
it's
I am
disappointing.
A big fan. I'm just disappointed. There's a few good songs. I'm not saying it's terrible or anything. There's a few good songs on there, but there's a lot of what I would call filler.
You don't want that?
Not really. No, I think they've
missed the mark a bit. I mean, that track you showed me, it's overproduced. It's gone towards perfection too much.
It's lost the analog. It doesn't. My biggest thing, I think, is it doesn't sound like a band.
It doesn't sound human anymore, does it?
No, but it doesn't sound like a band's created an album. It sounds like it's been sat down at a desk and microscopically
bolstered together,
amended, and pieced together.
Yeah.
Which, it's lost a lot of the. I mean, I'm not saying the last album had a lot of analogness to it, but it's lost it's lost a bit more this time around.
But the lyrics did sound very personal.
The lyrics it's an incredibly. Every song has incredible lyrics. Yeah, it sounds like a really personal album, but then it loses it because it doesn't sound like a personally crafted album.
Yeah, but that's the thing. And we were talking about this last night. One of the things we said was there's beauty in imperfection.
Absolutely,
and that's been completely overlooked. And unfortunately,
every imperfection has been scrubbed out.
Yeah, whether or not that's like a gradual thing, I find that when I'm recording stuff and. I don't typically overproduce anything, but it's very easy to go down that rabbit hole of like, I'll do another take and kind of
fixing everything
and try and fix everything when a lot of stuff doesn't need to be fixed.
Yeah, I find a lot of tracks boring as well, which is weird because they meld a lot of genres together. It shouldn't be boring. I mean, it shouldn't. It's like it's just lacking something. And there's some great. I mean, I love the end of Caramel, which has got the black metal section at the end. They've got some really great moments in there. There's a little math rocky bit in Gethsemane. It's like
it kind of ticks all the boxes, doesn't it?
There's a Deftones bit in Infinite Baths at the end. It's like it's just I just feel let down a little bit. I feel like they just need to go back to being a bit more natural, but they probably obviously expanding their fan base and they gathered a lot of pop fans and
the more popular they get, the more producers kind of poking their fingers in, and maybe that's what's happening. But
well, it did have Nolly in the credits, Danny, as an additional producer.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why the drums sound absolutely pristine, don't they? I mean, the drum performance is impeccable.
Yeah, that is something to point out, actually. The drums as always. But then there's loads of segments where it's just like electronic downbeat drum beats as well, and it's like, come on.
You've got a real drummer, and he's like an absolute unit.
Yeah, I know. And he's one of the songwriters, though, so he has that, obviously, he has that input as well. So
you can't keep doing the same thing. It comes down to taste, doesn't it, when it comes to production and stuff like that? And it's just gone a little bit too far for me.
Yeah,
maybe it's one of them we have to sit with.
Maybe it is. And like I said, there's still 4 or 5 good songs on the album. I just feel like it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. The amount of emotion in the lyrics, it just doesn't match emotionally, musically, to me.
It's the anticipation of a new album following that previous album was brilliant, wasn't it?
Take Me Back to Eden. Yeah, that was highest. It was a high standard, to be honest.
Yeah.
To follow up.
But it's like, how do you follow it without?
Again, really hard.
You know that.
I'd always like to have just seen him be a bit more emotional, I suppose, a bit more raw, which was never really going to happen, was it? With the direction they were going in.
Yeah.
So my expectations were never going to be met.
They were like misaligned in the first place.
They were misaligned in the first place. Yeah.
You were probably hoping for like this real raw ISIS-inspired production, which was never ever going to happen.
I'm not their target audience. Let's be honest.
You've racked up quite a few listens on Take Me Back to Eden, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I think it was my top album last year.
Yeah, and stop banging on about it.
I know. Well, even in Arcadia won't be at the top of this year's list, I'm afraid.
No, it won't be.
What have you been listening to, Danny?
Dude, I've been listening to an exceptional guitar player from Australia.
Who's that?
It's Brad Kaipo from the band 3 Wise Monkeys.
Oh, you keep banging on about them all the time. You do as well.
Dude, I hope you've listened to them by now.
I don't think I have.
Well, Brad is a keen listener of the podcast.
Oh, is he really?
So say hello to him.
Hi, Brad. Sorry for not listening to you.
He's been releasing loads of like singles on
it's the way to go
streaming
these days.
sites. Yeah, he's put out loads just recently. Today, in particular, I was listening to Armas de Fugo, which is absolutely beautiful, and Put Up Your Dukes. It's brilliant, and the way that he records it all, it's in a live room with drum and bass, and then
Put Up Your Dukes a cover?
I'm not sure.
Because there's a song I was listening to earlier by Young Gun Silver Fox called Put Up Your Dukes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
If it is, I'm unaware, but it's like
it's all a strange coincidence.
It's all like instrumental stuff, but like the drums sound like nice and raw. It feels like you're in the room with the drums.
Okay.
And I think part of that is if you're in the room with some drums, the cymbals are very present, and I think that's what. But they're not harsh sounding cymbals. They're just there because like a lot of modern production. Yeah. The cymbals are turned down so quiet, aren't they now?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
The bass sounds really nice and warm. But I mean, for me, the guitar tone. I mean, Brad's got. Every time I listen to Brad's guitar tones, I'm like, I get guitar tone envy.
What does he play?
He
Strat
plays like He's got some guitars that he's built himself.
Oh,
some like Warmoth projects. I don't know if you've heard of that company, Warmoth, but you can buy parts, can't you? He's got the sound in his hands though. That's the thing, because he plays all these. He's got everything from PRS to Gibson to you name it. He's got everything, and I'll have to show you his page. Like the amount of amps and pedals and stuff he's got is just unreal. But it helps extract the sounds and the creativity from himself. It doesn't matter what he plugs into.
It sounds like him.
He still sounds like him. I mean, you can tell when he's like, if he's picking up something with single coils and things like that. He's got a couple of Telecasters and stuff, which
nice.
Yeah. So you can tell he's playing a different guitar and stuff like that. But because of his expressive way of playing, you're not focusing on.
It doesn't matter what he plays.
No, you kind of like, oh, that tone's amazing. Oh, that phrasing, it just works. It's really beautifully crafted. So yeah, I've been listening to loads of that stuff just recently.
And you know what else we've been listening to? We had a little evening the other day, didn't we? Watching Tower of Power videos.
Oh God! Oh my God!
We had a good laugh with that, didn't we?
Yes.
How incredible were they though?
They're amazing.
The one thing though I took away from it the most was why do bands not dance on stage anymore?
That trumpet player
with a massive afro.
He had a massive afro, and he was doing this like crazy dance.
About 15 of them on stage.
Was he highly caffeinated?
Let's say he was highly caffeinated, yes.
That'll
He'd
do.
had a lot of caffeine.
A lot of caffeine.
Caffeine Wonderland.
Caffeine Wonderland.
Right, dude, should we finish off our little intro section there?
Should we crack on?
Move on to our incredible guest.
Yes, another incredible guitar player. We've had a lot of guitar players just recently.
Well, they're all little mates, aren't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of great guitar players out there. So
There's lots to uncover.
Yes.
And every one of them, so far, has produced a pretty decent dream band. And I hope today's guests can do the same. So before you go ahead, get yourself a little drink, maybe get yourself a little snack, and enjoy the podcast. Dude.
Recording in progress. Hello, folks. How you doing?
how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, really good. I was going to say, can you hear me? I'm doing the universal Zoom. I don't know what you call it, like semaphore, but for Zoom meetings.
Oh, okay.
Are you receiving me? It's a hangover from 5 years ago when we all had to do this nonsense all the time. Then it was like, is this okay? Can you hear me? But
I've not spoken to you for a little while, dude. It's nice to see you again.
It has been a hot minute. Yeah, I think last time was it Birmingham? But
Yeah,
not Birmingham gone, but the Birmingham previous.
Yeah, I couldn't make this one. Did you go to this one?
I did. Went down just for the Sunday, but I was really ill. So
no.
it wasn't very pleasant. But it was a wild trip because I was super ill. I was sleeping on the blow up bed in the front room, trying not to infect the missus with whatever kind of lurgy I had. So it was more the prospect of a night in a hotel. Truthfully, I thought, I'll have a bed for a night. That'll be all right. So I might get a good night's sleep. But apparently there's a hotel in Birmingham which is really cheap, but boy racers use the car park as like a little race track at 1 a.m. So I got my old man pants on. I thought, do I go out and tell them, like, stop doing that? That you're being very, very rude. But yeah,
I think they'd probably listen to you, dude, if you jumped out the hotel.
Well, I mean, in a state of undress, maybe. Just me and me boxers. Listen, consider your actions. But yes, thank you very much for having me on. Really excited to be here.
We are too, dude.
Yes, I should probably introduce you to my dear friend, Dan. He's the founder of this podcast.
Am I the founder? We're both the founders.
He's the ideas man. He thought this up. This is Nick.
Nice.
Nice to meet you, dude.
Unreal
Nice to
guitar
meet you,
player.
man.
Dude,
Fictional guitar player.
Can I just compliment you on the room you're in right now? Look at that as a...
Oh, hey, thank you very much. We're going to be... This is my little recording and streaming space, and I'm just surrounded by stuff.
Guitar store, isn't it?
It's like
There is a
like
few.
Willy Wonka's guitar factory.
It's incredible.
Look at
There is a few. I try my best to play them all, but we got some weird and wonderful instruments here. I think I was saying to somebody the other day, like, I'm kind of more fascinated by guitar esoterica right now, like weird stuff. Like, if you see this little fella, this little sunburst guy, kicking around up here, that is what is it? It's a 12-string mandolin guitar thing. So if you can imagine a 12-string guitar, but starting at fret 12, and it's about this big, and it's I can't reach it with my lav mic on, otherwise I'd get it. But it's that sort of thing makes me really excited, like more than, you know, what's the new Strat on the block. I'm like, oh, look at it, it's tiny, and it goes tinkly, tinkly, tinkle. And I love it.
Something completely different, isn't it? Dude, do you want to introduce yourself to
our wonderful listeners?
Yeah, our wonderful listeners.
Hello, listeners. Hi, my name's Nick. I am a guitar player, among other things. I play in a band, several bands, play in a band from the 1980s called Blitzkrieg. Who you will probably know. If you do know, you will know from the Metallica cover of the eponymous track Blitzkrieg by Blitzkrieg. Really fun band, you know. We have a new album out, came out back end of last year. We're on tour towards the end of this year. Aside from that, I'm a contributor for licklibrary.com, Guitar Interactive magazine, and a new venture called Thinking About Guitar with Jonathan Graham from Guitar Interactive. Just trying to stay busy, you know.
Yes.
In addition to that, yeah, just, you know, collect guitars, recreational competitive powerlifter, not very good. But, I try my best. Bit like guitar, really, just trying my best. That's the word, muddling along.
As all guitarists are, but you are an exceptional player, dude. Well, very modest, very modest.
That is very kind, and that's high praise, man. Because you've all seen Danny play, right? So it's. I'm sure. Come on. Anyway, we're backpacking session.
What got you into guitar playing, Nick?
I was in trouble in a French lesson. So I was in middle school, which is for everybody who's not in the 3-tier school system like they have in Northumberland. That would put me about age 11, and me and a friend had convinced everybody in French class in this little play acting bit that we did to order potato ice creams, which is une glace aux pommes de terre. And it pretty quickly became clear that it was us. And we were in trouble and we were in detention. And my friend Carl, he says to me, sort of like nudges me and goes, "Hey, do you want to join my band?" And I'm like, "You're not in a band." Because this was 1990 whatever. And all that was in the charts was like 2 Unlimited. I didn't know anybody who was in bands or played music or anything. He's like, yeah, I'm in a band. You should join my band. I'm like, well, okay. And he's like, "What can you play?" And I'm like, "I can't play anything. I've got a keyboard in the house." And he goes, "No keyboards in Guns N' Roses, so there's no keyboards in my band. You'll have to learn guitar." And I did.
Wow.
That's kind of how it worked. And it was kind of like so many things with like being that age, when you're a band, when you're a kid, you struggle to find a thing. And you go like, what's my thing? And I was never a sporty kid or a particularly academic kid or even a particularly extroverted kid, or you can never believe that. But the guitar became this thing that was like my thing. And I'm like, this is me. I do the guitar. I'm the kid who plays the guitar. I'm sure you guys would be exactly the same. Right.
Yeah. But it bites, doesn't it? Once you get hold of it again. Yeah, exactly.
That's it. And then I got to about 15-year-old. That was faced a career choice of professional musician or professional wrestler. And I was terrible at the professional wrestling. So music it was. And here we are.
That's wicked. I wasn't expecting that, dude. That's wicked.
What was your first band called? Can you remember?
Oh, okay. So my first band, I joined a band when I was in college called The Unknown, and we went through so many names, terrible names. That was the first of many, right? And they didn't get any better. Like the names just became, I don't know. We had a really charismatic frontman, a guy called Craig Brown, who was a friend of mine that I really looked up to. He's about a year older than me, and I thought he was just the coolest guy you've ever seen in your entire life. And he had this kind of storyteller, singer thing going on, and wrote some really cool lyrics and all that sort of thing, but was apparently just terrible at band names. and insisted on changing it every 6 weeks. Like, lads, I know we've got a gig, but I'm going to change the name. I'm going to contact the promoter. They're going to change it on the posters. I'm like, man, nobody cares.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, there was that. Played in a bunch of working bands around the Northeast. And I played and still do play in a band playing my own stuff called Saints of Arcadia. We've been going for, 14 years now. Released a single just this year gone, and that's just me and my best mates making music. It's a lot of fun. But yes, that was The Unknown. I had to think about that. We're dredging the memory banks there.
It's always good. Okay, so first of all, this is a really important bit. What are you going to be in the band? What's your position going to be?
I was in two minds about this because I'm a singer and a guitar player. And I was like, do I just get my favorite guitar players in and I'll sing and I'll just watch the whole thing? But there is a singer that I really want. Okay. So I'm going to be playing guitar. How much guitar? Who can say?
Well, it's up to you. It's your dream band, so you can do whatever you like in your guitar capacity.
I kind of want to watch. I kind of want to be the... I don't know, I don't know this for a fact. There's just pure rumors, but what's the name of the fella from the Dead Daisies who runs the whole show? He plays the rhythm guitar, but the whole band is his project. And he's like, I'm just going to get in musicians that I want to play with and I'm going to watch them do the thing. And I'll be over here going, this is great. I like this. So
I didn't realise that.
That'd be me. I mean, don't quote me on that, but that is certainly a rumor I've heard, and I can't say who I've heard the rumor from. But yeah, that sounds like a great gig to me. I'm like, sign me up. I'll do that.
Fair enough. I mean, you can add little flourishes and touches wherever you like, then, can't you?
Yep.
That's it. I'll just try not to get in the way.
Backing vocals as well.
Yes, they'll give me a microphone. Don't talk to anybody. So I'll be playing guitar, I think, and doing some BVs.
Which of your many guitars will you be playing?
I'm in two minds, but this is the number one right now. This is my Maybach Convair 59 aged, which I can do this and show everybody.
Oh,
so this is the guy right now. I'm lucky enough to have relationships with PRS and with Maybach, so I've got a few PRS to pick from. But this one is a bit grimy from the gig. You can see just if I turn it this way and this way, it's got this crazy lacquer checking, but it has this flame maple top, which is just emerging from the finish.
Yeah, so underneath that finish.
It's underneath.
The top. Wow.
That's going to wear off one day and there'll be flame maple under here.
Wow.
Which is wild. But this is, for anybody who's not familiar, Maybach are a German brand. And this is made in the custom shop. It's an original design by head luthier Nick Page, who I think is the man. He's a madman, but in the way that the great guitar builders are.
Yeah.
So he was telling me about his technique for finishing the backs of necks. He said, I won't do the accent. He's a German guy. And he says, some people will use like linseed oil or they'll use gun oil or this sort of thing. And when I have a technique that I stole from sculptors and in my workshop, I have a broken BMW engine and I'm using the oil from the engine. And when the oil runs out, I'll just have to get another BMW.
Wow.
Like, okay, yeah,
that
cool,
is unexpected.
It really is. So this is one of his designs. And apparently he went to, he sat in his workshop one night and drank a lot of wine and sat with a notepad. And this is what he woke up to. He went, right, it's destiny. So yes, this is what we're going to be playing, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a Gretsch, doesn't it? Like a Gretsch with a Les Paul kind of thing.
It's definitely got a bit of that going on. But like, I mean, I'm a big dude and this looks kind of proportional on me in a way that lots of other guitars don't. So it kind of looks Les Paul size, but that's just perspective. Like this is significantly larger than an LP. Like LP probably come to about here on it. And I'm a fan of that, but it's quite light as well. Like it's not super, super heavy. It's really resonant. So I think that's the one. Failing that, it's going to be this 594, which is the favorite PRS right now. I don't know what they did with the 594s, but they're just next level, in my opinion. I've
not played one of those yet. They've got a different scale length, haven't they?
Yeah. Apparently that was Paul Reed Smith measuring a bunch of like 50s and 1960 Gibsons, and the really good ones all had a scale length that was 24.594 inches. So like really specific. And he's like, right, that's the scale length, lads. It's going to be 24.594. We'll call it the 594. I don't know how much is contributing, but it's a really great guitar. Like really something. But I'm going to put this away. Otherwise I'm going to noodle on it.
Yeah. You're welcome to noodle throughout. And what are you plugging it into? A Victory, maybe?
Super Kraken. Without question, like no hesitation there. That's the amp. Probably because I'm a silent stage convert. I'd probably do the tube amp expander, which I have down here, which is my load box of choice.
Is it? Okay,
but definitely the Super Kraken though. I think because it does all the things. Like it does the really great high gain, refined 5150 deal, but it's got a really sweet crunch channel. It's Rabia Massad's voiced the whole thing, and he's bizarrely has gone for channel 2 of a 5150 and a JCM 900 for the inspiration, which is they're not the amps you would pick. Like you'd go, well, channel 3 from the 5150 and an 800, and he's gone, no, mate, 900. Blue channel from the 5150, and it's great. It's tremendous. Like filtered through Martin's Genius, and like I would take that anyway. It's like the one amp in the shower kind of deal. I think.
Be careful with that.
Yeah, don't take your amps in the shower, kids.
Yeah. So we have got a couple of rules.
Time for the rules, baby.
We can't have any current or past band members in this band with you.
Ooh, okay, that throws a wrench in the works because I've got a past band member. But
Okay,
that's fine.
we can discuss that when it comes up.
Yeah.
And you can't
see.
choose more than one member from the same band, so you can't pick 3 members from Metallica, for example.
Metallica this time.
Not that you would.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I can think 3. Definitely 2. But no, yeah.
It's reducing.
They're 3. At least 2 of them are bass players, though. So
There
I
you
don't
go.
know. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. So unless we're going to do the big bottom thing and just have like bass
Fine.
players of Metallica play Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, that goes on to our first member, and I don't think you're going to pick Lars. Who is your dream drummer?
Well, now I have had to. I've several dream drummers. The actual like the dream drummer. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, sorry. Is this is living or dead? Right.
Living or dead,
Is this-
yes, that's
Yeah,
right, yes.
yeah.
Fine,
We can
great, perfect.
resurrect. We can resurrect.
Perfect. Okay, so like my dream drummer, without giving too much away, my dream drummer, I've kind of had to go. Okay, you can't be in the band because there's someone else I want. So I'm gonna go with as my number one choice for this, Pat Torpey from Mr. Big.
Oh, cool.
Great choice.
I love Pat Torpey's playing. God rest him. Like, I mean, just super tasteful. The best sounding drums from that era, like from that like 90s hangover of 80s, but going into the 90s era stuff. Like, Kit always sounded incredible. He's a great singer, incredibly handsome. Which that helps. So in my own
bonus.
band, I have a really handsome drummer as well. So it's I definitely think Torpey. I think he's my man.
Do you have a favourite track by him?
I
featuring
really
him?
like yes, lots of, but I think my favorite one, which is a little bit of a, I'm not going to say it's an oddball choice, but I think my favorite Pat Torpey track is "Dancing with My Devils" from the Richie Kotzen era. Now, I'm more of a fan of the Paul era, in terms of like the songs, but this one particular track, it's just this beautiful, like, it's almost like a fire, like a Jimi Hendrix kind of groove going on,
cool.
but it's really sick. And it's when they started kind of embracing that 90s production a little more, where it was a little drier. It wasn't quite as bombastic as things like Green Tinted 60s Mind, although that would be a close second. But just as an exercise in taste and propulsion, if that makes sense.
That's a killer album.
So good. So good. I got to do some of the audio mixing for, I know you've had Sam Bell on recently. Sam taught for Lick Library, he taught classic albums, Lean Into It, where he taught note for note tuition of the whole thing. And I got to do some of the audio on that and do a bit of recreation of the Mr. Big tracks. And man, so much fun, but really challenging because the sonics are just superb, like monstrously good. So yes, Pat Torpey.
Wicked. Have you seen Mr. Big with that lineup at all in the past?
I haven't seen them at all, which is like, it's a real shame. I narrowly missed them one time in Newcastle, and I can't even remember why I didn't go. I knew I couldn't go for some reason, but that's a band where I'm like, it's one of those kind of like Van Halen type bands where you go, I'm gutted that I never got to see those guys. So you've seen plenty of cool bands, but that's one band where I'm like, I really wish I'd gone. And I've got a couple of friends who went, and apparently it was absolutely stellar.
Yeah, of
Of course, they rubbed it in. You really missed out, mate.
It was the best gig in the world.
You missed out, mate. You missed.
Teasing you saying this is the best band I've ever seen ever. Best live performance.
And I can believe it. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It probably was. And I feel bad enough.
Yeah, don't think about it for too long. Have you got a honourable mention as like a backup one? It doesn't matter if you haven't.
I have two. My honourable mentions. My honourable mention. I'm going to give this away now, but I can't have my first choice, which is everybody's first choice, which is John Bonham. Like everyone wants John Bonham. I can't have John Bonham for reasons that will become apparent. And it was a real tight call and a potential substitution for me between Pat Torpey and Jeff Porcaro.
Okay.
Because, I mean, who would not want to play in a band with Jeff Porcaro? Just
Yes,
like
exactly.
pocket magic. But Bonzo, Picaro, they're quite obvious choices. And I'm like, we're going to throw Torpy in there, I think, just to mix it a little bit. Out of interest, how many people who've played this game already have said either Jeff Picaro or John Bonham?
We've had
John Bonham.
We've had John Bonham, haven't we? Yeah. But we haven't had Picaro, I don't think.
No, not yet.
No. But
Interesting.
I'm sure
Okay.
it will come up at some point. The one that we've had a lot of is Portnoy.
Mike Portnoy.
Oh, yeah.
And we were going to introduce a ban at one point because it was like...
it seemed to be every week, didn't
Yeah.
it?
The Portnoy rule.
Yeah. I mean, he's
you
amazing.
know the podcast is going well when you start to have these little in-jokes and these little rules appear.
Yes.
Like that's when you know you're onto something pretty cool. So, so that's great.
Portnoy again.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Portnoy again.
No Portnoy. I mean, I wouldn't say no. I absolutely wouldn't say no.
I mean, who would?
But I mean, yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, like, I feel like the kind of stuff that I would want to be playing, I know Mike would do great, but I don't think it's his main wheelhouse, if you know what I mean. Like, we've seen him with the Winery Dogs, he's killer, but like Portnoy's home is Prague.
Yes.
And, you know, I feel like I'd be wasting him a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's that overplaying. I mean, I'm probably going to get shot down for saying it, but sometimes it's a bit overplaying, and sometimes that doesn't work for certain genres, does it? You want someone to sit back and...
He'd want to be the main character, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's a strong character, isn't he? So
Yeah.
He is. He's a very strong character.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
100%.
Love him, though.
Wicked. Great choice. Great drummer. Right.
Thank you very much.
Next member.
First of all, are you having a keyboard player in this band?
I am, but I'm not having a dedicated keyboard player.
Oh,
Okay.
what do you mean by that?
No, all will become clear.
Okay. So your next member, your dream rhythm guitarist.
Ooh, well, I think that's me.
So are you doing rhythm? Okay, that's fair.
I think that's me. I mean, I don't know. Like, we're not going to draw that boundary. So I think I'll be guitarist 2.
Okay.
I think is the way that I'm going to go with this.
That's fair enough. We're going to move on then to your dream bass player. Which, I'm a bass player myself, so that is my favourite section of the podcast.
All right. Okay. This was surprisingly tough because there are lots of bass players that I'd love to play with.
Yeah.
But I am going with, and this is where all of this skullduggery becomes clear, John Paul Jones.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
Yes. What a
Great
choice.
bass player.
Yeah. Bass player, composer,
Yeah.
keys, all the other instruments, lap steel.
Yeah.
Like, he's like aside from being like bass player of the gods, he is the do everything guy in the band. I'm like, man, yeah, I've got to have JPJ. So that's why I couldn't have John Bonham. So I'm like,
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to weigh it up, haven't you? You got to weigh
that's
it up.
That is it. And there was plenty of there were actually a lot of bass players where I'm like, right, you'd be killer, but
Yeah.
I think Jonesy. I think
I've not seen the documentary yet.
No, I want to watch that. Have you seen it?
It's
Zeppelin. Yeah.
yeah, becoming Led Zeppelin. It's great. I mean, there's some fascinating stuff from their early days, but there's also there's some things that I really love. Like, you know, they show the 3 remaining members interviews of John Bonham that's have previously never been aired, and you can see the reaction on their faces, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I mean, only slight complaint is I'm like, did you have to play Ramble On all the way through though? Because we know what Ramble On sounds like.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've heard it. A minute is enough. Just give us more of the stuff we've never seen before.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm being very picky there, though.
A favourite track featuring John Paul Jones.
Oh, Lemon Song all the way. Like it's after the fast section. There's an instrumental chorus, an instrumental 12-bar, and it's outrageous, the bass work. It's mind blowing, and you sort of go, well, this was in 1960 what?
Yeah, I know, before his time.
Way before his time. So Lemon Song, probably honourable mention for Ramble On, actually, now that I mentioned it.
Yeah. Another great choice. It's his tone, isn't it? It's like the way he delivers his phrasing and everything. And he makes that, I mean, like Bonham with his drums had this huge sound, didn't he? And this huge presence. But what the bass brought to it.
They were a perfect pairing, though, weren't they? Them two?
Yeah, they were, weren't they? It's
rhythm section wise,
like a dream band already, really.
Yeah. So everybody else go home. We're going to let these guys do the thing.
If John Paul Jones wasn't in Led Zeppelin, it would probably leave am I right in saying one of the biggest voids out of all of them?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it just wouldn't be the same
I
band,
think
would
so.
it?
Yeah.
It'd be very different.
Very hard to replace.
A few bands from that era that were the same, though. I mean, if you think about like Free without Andy Fraser, for example, I mean, that's talk about an under-celebrated member of a band. Do you know what I mean? The other lads get the due. Maybe not Simon Kirke. He doesn't get the due. And like a phenomenal contribution. And the same with like Geezer Butler. You take Geezer Butler out of Sabbath and it's
not Sabbath.
A lot of the interesting stuff's gone. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
No, you are right. Do you have any honourable mentions for bass? Anyone you nearly picked?
Myself, honourable mentions Andy Fraser.
Oh yes,
is one of them. I would deeply love to play with Andy Fraser. Who else? Let me think. I'm gonna stick with Andy Fraser as the honourable mention. Cool. He would be my other guy if I was gonna, because it was between Bonham and Andy Fraser or Torpy and John Paul Jones, and the keys and stuff swung it for me. I'm like, that's
more versatile.
Yes,
versatile member. Do you have a favourite? I can see some basses hanging up there. Do you have a favourite bass yourself?
I'm a bass player by necessity. So I have these two kicking around, which I'm going to probably consolidate at some point into just one do everything bass. But my bass player Anna swears by the Marcus Miller Sires.
Oh yeah,
and her stuff is it's a dream to work with. She just sends me stems. It's like this DI tone is so good. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to layer on because I produced the majority of the stuff I put out as well, and I'm like, this is it. Just slap the little Andy Wallace low end trick on, and maybe blend in a little bit of either a driven channel or like a sound sample or something, and we're there. Like that's the tone. So I'm probably going to get rid of these two at some point and just get a 5-string Sire PJ and call it done.
Fair enough.
I think.
Nice basses. Is that a Jaguar up there you've got?
That is Jaguar bass, yeah. One of the
They don't do them anymore, I don't think they do them anymore like that, do they? They've changed
really
them a
cool.
bit.
The electronics are a bit fiddly. Which it makes sense because I drive an old Jaguar and the electronics are fiddly in that as well. So it's like Jaguar's electronics. But what are you going to do? But it looks nice, and so does the bass.
Next member.
Oh, who is it next, Danny?
Dream lead guitarist.
I'm interested in this one.
This is where I've got to ask some questions. So,
okay.
This is the past members thing, and I think I'm going to have to make a substitution here.
Okay.
Because I was going to say Richie Kotzen because he's my guy. He's my number one. But I've got Pat Torpy, and Kotzen was in Mr. Big with Pat Torpy for quite a long time.
That's a rule break.
It is a rule break.
I think it is.
I'm sorry,
I think it is. So that's okay.
It's a great choice, though. We love Kotzen, though. He's fucking amazing.
We was watching him the other week, wasn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, and you could quite easily have him as the lead vocalist too, but I mean, I love the dynamic he had with Eric Martin, where the pair of them would sing, and they would kind of like, you had this twin lead vocal thing. It was it. But there's lots of folks I could pick from, but I'm gonna go, if I can't have Richie Kotzen, it could be Nuno.
He looks gutted.
I am gutted. Right.
Sorry,
we're very sorry about
it. Okay, you're all right. It's fine. I like the game. It's fine. But it might have been Nuno, but I'm probably going to go with Ian Thornley.
Oh, that's Danny's favourite.
He's my hero.
Danny's hero.
Yeah, what a choice.
Right. Look how happy he is.
I'm sold.
He's so happy.
Right, but how much does Thornley bring to the game? Right, not just the lead vocal, which is phenomenal, but the songwriting, the playing, the production, all the layers, all the tinkly big rack bits, the sounds, all that sort of stuff. And you put him and John Paul Jones in a room, and you go, man, what What magic are you two going to conjure?
It's going to be pretty good, isn't it?
It's going to be pretty good. I think Ian will be happy as well because he's a huge Led Zeppelin fan, isn't he? So you've probably made his dream come true as well.
Happy I can help. So this is why I'm just lurking in the corner. I'm like, I'll play some chords. I'm okay.
I'm sure he'll let you step up, dude. You can do some some trade-off licks. Have you got a favourite track, a favourite album?
My favourite Big Wreck album is Albatross, which is it's a funny one because Ghosts is the album. It's the one that everyone's like, Ghosts. For me, it's Albatross purely on the strength of the writing, like all the way through. I think that it suffers from not having the production that Ghost has, because Ghost is a sonic masterpiece.
Yeah.
But Albatross is a fabulous album. And there's a solo, for anybody who's not familiar, from the song Control, where he does the Robin Ford thing. And it's just, I could listen to that all day. All day. I don't know if it's the favourite song, but it's definitely the favourite solo, the favourite guitar moment, I think. How about you? Right, fellow Big Wreck fan.
Yeah, I mean, I first discovered Ian Thornley through Nickelback, which is a strange thing.
Fellow Canadians.
Yeah, I listened to Thornley first, his first solo album. So that's what got me into him, not realising he was in Big Wreck. And then I'd say probably Pleasure and the Greed. That album's just amazing. I absolutely love it. But then I But for the Sun, and Albatross is a very, very strong choice. I think the thing with Albatross, that album, I love the production, but it's a little bit like jacked. Everything's it's not quite as dynamic as. Have you listened to that album? I've done you a playlist. You've not listened to it yet.
Danny's actually done me a Big Wreck playlist to listen to, so I've not got around to it yet. So I need to have a good listen.
But I love the EPs. The EPs are probably some of my favourite work from them. 7.1 to 7.3.
And what a great way to release music as well. You know, you get 4 songs of magic, and each one has a little identity all of its own. And you go, this is fucking great. And then the next one is it's subtly different. I think it's like, were I releasing more music more regularly, I would be like, I'm copying that. Yeah, definitely copying that format.
It's a great way to do it these days, I think.
That's why I'm stealing my idea from my next
release.
releases.
I was going to say, that is literally your idea, isn't it, for your kind of music?
Yeah, except releasing an album now, it just falls on its arse.
I think it takes too long to make, and then you've got a lot of empty space afterwards, unless you're without anything new coming out.
Yeah, and then you're sick of it by the time it comes out. You know, especially if you're doing the DIY thing. You know, by the time it's ready, you're like, I can't listen to these songs anymore. And then you've got to go and tour them, and you go,
yes. No.
I mean, it is a little different when you get to play them live, and if people know them, that's really cool. But there's definitely a lull when you should be your most excited about the album, where you're going, I'm burned. I need to have something else.
I'm very intrigued. Have you met Ian Thornley?
I have not, and I would love to. Have you met him?
I have met him.
He's showing off now. Met him. Showing off.
I'm not showing off.
He's showing off.
Do tell. Come on.
I went to a clinic at Guitar, and he was there doing demonstrating for Sir, and it was just like, oh god, this is ridiculous. You know them moments where you're like, don't be a fanboy.
Yeah.
And then you just end up being a fanboy.
Yeah, you can't not.
Completely embarrass myself.
I'm very jealous. Very jealous. But I'd love to one day, you know, and he's enormous as well, you know, he's a huge guy. From what I've seen, you know, like 6'1", and we have I'll probably have to tell you this after the break, but we have a growing, it hasn't quite got off the ground yet, but it's the Guitar Players Arm Wrestling League. And John Petrucci is the final boss. I've already cleared this with him. He's down. It's like when he's off camera and he becomes Long Island John Petrucci, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. Like, just bring me a champion. And I think that's where he gains his powers. I think he arm wrestles guitar players and then experiences the quickening, and then he's just gets faster. Like,
it's all over.
Maybe. But Jared James Nichols is in. Who else is in? We need to get Zach on board. Adrian Thorpe is in. Thorpe is in, and he's going to be a threat because he's a big boy.
He's a man mountain, isn't he?
I love the sound of this.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Looking at myself on there, I can kind of understand why my mum thought I had no clothes on at the toy store. Just saying. It kind of blends. It blends in very well with my head, doesn't it?
But it looks.
I look very pig-like.
It's like a kangaroo's pouch upon your left breast.
Just looking at myself on camera, I realise it looks like I'm not really wearing any clothes at times.
Oh.
It blends in a little bit with my natural skin tone.
Different kind of podcast. It's too warm in my studio. I brought things to wear, and I'm just dressed in grey. And I've been here. Funnily enough, I've been in playing with the cameras today, and I've been white balancing everything. And I'm like, can I just do it off this t-shirt, maybe? Or and this has led. I don't know if middle grey t-shirts exist. 18% grey, maybe, for any camera nerds in the audience. If they don't, money is waiting. Money is on the table.
That's a great. 18%. You know what? I'm surprised they don't sell them to be able to.
They probably do. I haven't even looked. Somebody probably has.
Very expensive.
Yeah,
overpriced.
That's it. Yeah. Perfect. Great.
Maybe a marsupial t-shirt.
The inner pouch of a marsupial.
It's a lovely colour. As Jude Law said, what is it? Gentlemen needn't fear pink or something like that.
Something
or
like that.
A secure man doesn't fear pink. I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, we like that.
I'm a very secure man.
Yeah, evidently.
It's
a strong choice. I like
it. Thank you. Shall we go back to the dream band process?
Yeah,
let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I was thinking the whole time about honourable mentions for guitar, and the list is far too long. It's crazy.
Can you pick one? Can you bang one out there?
I can definitely pick one. And it may have been Nuno, but I'm going to give the honourable mention to John Sykes.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
Just again on that, Pat Torpey, John Paul Jones, John Sykes. It would be a completely different band to the Thornley band, but it would also be phenomenal. Like Blue Murder 2.0. Incredible. But much like rest in peace, John Sykes, the man. But much like myself, he would never get around to releasing anything. So, what are you going to do? Yeah, so the honourable mention goes to John Sykes, I think.
It's a great honourable mention.
It is really, isn't it?
It is. What we got next, Danny?
Well, I'm very intrigued with this one. This is your dream vocalist.
Who
are you picking?
Well, I mean, it could have easily been Thornley. Easily been Thornley. But and we're not turning the mic off. Put it that way, right? Ian's going to be contributing. I was really torn on this because there's a really obvious choice and there's a less obvious choice, and I would be quite happy with both. Yeah, I'm going to go with the obvious choice, and I'm going to say Chris Cornell.
Oh, love it.
That's it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, what a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
What a voice. Yeah.
And you put Thornley and Cornell together. I mean, can you imagine the harmonies?
Incredible.
Like
a bit unreal.
They'd work so well together, wouldn't they?
They're like twins singing together.
Perfect pairing.
Not Arnie and
DeVito.
Danny DeVito. That kind of twins. But
I'd like to see that pairing again.
They got the people in the trash.
Yeah. That was the honourable mentions. Schwarzenegger, Austrian Death Machine. He's gonna be the lead vocalist. But yeah, definitely, it's got to be Cornell. With that lineup, it's got to be Cornell. I think if it was Richie playing guitar, it would be a different singer. That would be my other choice. But
we'll come to that in a second.
Comes to that.
What's your favourite Chris Cornell track?
Or like era, really, because he's changed, hasn't he? From like Soundgarden right through to solo stuff and Audio Slave and
I mean, the Soundgarden stuff is untouchable. It really is. But I think, just as a personal favourite, I think my favourite track is going to be Show Me How to Live.
Oh, yeah.
I think, just as a vocal performance. Because that is, I mean, if you ever tried, it's like, whoa, this is a superhuman performance. But then so are things like, Jesus Christ Pose, superhuman, unbelievable, but like you say, solo stuff too, where, he was in his feelings a bit more. I mean, just I'm not even going to say what a range, because that kind of cheapens it. It's like what a breadth of music poured out of that man. So I've just realized that, I'm choosing lots of people who have passed away, which is quite depressing. But
they live on.
There you go. Yeah.
The music lives
Immortal.
on, doesn't it?
It almost doesn't even kind of register. You don't even think that guy's gone now.
Yeah.
But the same with John Sykes. The same with, and I'm going like, bloody hell, there's lots of folks who are not here. Andy Fraser.
It's one of the great things with music, isn't it? They live on. They do literally live on through your experience, like listening to their music.
Yeah, and you feel like you know them. You know, the amount that I've listened to Chris Cornell, for instance, through the years. I mean, Euphoria Morning, that album is one of my favourite albums of all time. I think it's a masterpiece. But you spend so long digesting these stories and these melodies and this phrasing and just the compositions, and you feel like you get to know them as a person. So when the world lost Chris Cornell, I took that quite personally in a way, which is weird because I don't know him, I've never met him, but he's
but you feel like you do that, don't you? You feel like, it's his music's been such a part of your life, you feel like you do, in some way, and I guess in some way you kind of do, because you've been allowed into a part of him that you won't experience with the majority of people in the world. You'll never get to know that part of their spirit that Chris, and even people who would like to bring you into that maybe can't. Like I can't express in song or in composition the way Chris Cornell could.
I think anyone can.
No, exactly. Yeah, and that's what made him Chris Cornell. And I'm not going to say I'm now going, why was there ever a question? But it was lineup dependent, and we'll get to that.
Okay,
Chris Cornell, definitely. I'm happy with that band. I think that
should be. Did you ever see Cornell in any of his kind of outfits at all?
Not even once, and I'm very sad about that one too. That's another sore spot. I'm like, I wish I'd seen Chris Cornell. But did you go and see him?
We caught him a couple of times.
A couple of times, yeah. We saw him he did a solo stint at Download Festival, but he did the album that nobody really likes. Am I allowed to say that?
Is it the Timbaland
yeah,
album?
The Timbaland one, which is I've revisited it recently, and I've got a newfound appreciation for it. Once you accept it for what it is. His vocal performance is still stellar.
Yeah.
And then we saw Soundgarden, didn't we? And that was just wow. Because you listen to these things and you're like, it must be like incredibly difficult for someone to try and recreate that. And then he gets up there and it just looks effortless.
Yeah. That's it. Pours out of him, man.
Yeah, it does.
And that's a very special person. I mean, I don't think there are many musicians like that in all of the history of recorded music, like these real kind of, I don't know, these white hot characters who just music pours out of them, but it's not just like, this is great music. It's something beyond that. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it. But we all know what I'm talking about. I think.
It's like Freddie. Freddie's another example.
Yes, absolutely.
He
would have been another
star power, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's that true star.
Who incidentally, how many people have picked Freddie so far?
One. Yeah, one.
Only one.
Which, I know.
Crazy, isn't it?
Man, that's wild. That would have been. Yeah, that would have been like. But at this point, when you're talking about characters like Freddie and characters like Cornell, it's a question of like, whose vibe is it? Whose vibe fits?
Yes.
Because you can't choose between that level of genius. I don't think. So it's and for me, in this band, Cornell definitely.
So I think if it was Kotzen on guitar, then who was the vocalist going to be? I'm intrigued.
If it was Kotzen on guitar, it was going to be Corey Glover from Living Colour.
Oh yes.
Oh,
he's been picked before, hasn't he?
He's been picked before. He's got such a great soulful voice, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Really killer voice.
And I love Corey Glover. I'm not trying to put Corey Glover on the same pedestal as Chris Cornell, but I just love the guy. I think he has just the most phenomenal vocal charisma.
Yeah.
So, it's like every time I hear him, I'm just like I'm giggly with how good it is and how much fun it is. And, like you see him back in the day, especially like when Living Colour first came out, and they were just like these four guys like stripped to the waist in spandex, and you go, oh my God, like what am I looking at here? And then they came back with the suits, and it was super sharp. And even now, I went to see them with Extreme recently.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And I was just wishing the whole time for a Nuno, Glover, K-Fig, and Wimbish supergroup. Not to down any of the other members, but I'm like, could you imagine? Just like, can you lads just get up and do a little bit?
Yeah.
So get them up.
Just
Get
for
them
me.
up.
Just for me.
Yeah, I would be happy. But then again, I've got so much respect for Gary Sharon, but I would not want that smoke. Like, I'd be like, nope, he's not getting up. Sorry, not happening. Yeah. But again, that's a vibe thing. Because for me, I think with Richie playing the guitar and with Corey singing, you've got a little avenue into that Motherhead's kind of more, I'm not going to say less serious, but more joyful Richie Kotzen kind of stuff. Yeah. Where he was doing he was kind of off the back of the Prince thing a little bit, but he was very in his funk and soul stuff. We'd need horns, but I'm sure that'd be okay.
Did you say that you were going to have a keyboard player, or was that?
That's
John
Paul James.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just checking there wasn't an extra member.
Yeah.
Before we summarise.
It's time to summarise. So, you just go through your lineup. See, on drums, your dream drummer is
Pat Torpy.
Your dream. Who are we going with first? It's in a strange order on there. No.
Well, yeah, just
let's go with. What are you doing in the band?
I'm going to be playing guitar, and I'm going to be trying not to get in everybody's way.
Who is your dream bass player?
Dream bass player is John Paul Jones.
Your dream lead guitarist?
We're going with Ian Thornley.
And your dream vocalist?
Chris Cornell.
What a lineup! You've done well there, dude.
Oh, I'm
impressed. I'm impressed with myself.
Yeah.
I'm also very happy with this band.
This is the hardest part, though. This is the hardest part that everybody struggles with, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but it's time to name that band.
Name your dream band, baby.
What are you naming this band?
No, don't let your mate name it, because by the sounds of it, he was...
Yeah, don't...
he was bad at band names. Yeah. Bad at band names.
Are you any better?
No, terrible. Yeah. Woeful at band names. I didn't name the band, but I play in a band that can't get through German airport security because the labels, there you go, they go, what, you've written what on this equipment that looks like a bomb? But no, it's Blitzkrieg, it's not that. I didn't name it.
Oh yeah, German tours must be hard. German tours must be a bit rough.
It's nice once you get out there. I love playing in Germany. I'm a big Germanophile. I like the food, but airport security is a trip. I'm not trying to just detract from naming bands, but the last time we were out there, we were flying back from Guitar Summit, and we were behind a pair of Italian women who were having their bags searched, and they produced from the bag a grappling hook. Like,
oh my God!
What do you
need that for?
Why are you bringing a grappling hook onto the airplane?
Grappling hook,
like Batman, scaling the wall. Like a grappling hook.
I think I'd follow those women for the rest of the holiday. Just like on holidays, the rest of the tour.
Yeah. Like, where are you going? So I don't know. I'm tempted in honor of that bizarre scenario to call the band Grappling Hook.
You know what? That's a great band name.
It is.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, why not? Well, we're going to have that. I mean, it was that or Nick Jennison's participation trophy. So
I also like that.
Yeah,
dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for getting involved with this.
I have had a great time, lads. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, dude. It's been so much fun.
Some
great choices.
It's been a gas.
Do you want to share your socials and all that sort of stuff, and where we can find your music and all that sort of stuff, Nick?
Yes. So you can find me and all the things I do anywhere where I am. It's just at Nick Jennison. Perks of a slightly unusual name. There's Jennison, although I'm aware it'll probably be spelled out somewhere down here. You can find Blitzkrieg's music on Spotify or your streaming service of choice. You can find Saints of Arcadia on the same. That's my other band. You can go to BlakeLibrary.com, GuitarInteractiveMagazine.com. You can go to the new Thinking About Guitar YouTube channel. We've just recently dropped a video where we visited Norman's Rare Guitars in California at our last NAMM show. That was a treat. That was a dream.
Oh, sounds amazing.
Man. They pulled out, well, like, what have you got that we can play? And they're like, look, since the documentaries came out, we're quite sparse. There's not that much stuff in, but we've got a 65 Strat that you can play. Like, but it's left-handed. I'm still going to play it. I'm going to have a go. I'm going to try. So, I mean, what do you do in those circumstances? You play a bit of slide and hope for the best. But yeah, so that's a fun watch. We're doing reviews, interviews, news, all of that good sort of stuff. Yeah, that's where you can find me and my things.
Amazing, dude.
Oh, wicked. Well, I'm going to go and listen to the bands, and I will be checking out that. I'll be subscribing to that YouTube channel because it's
amazing.
Oh, yeah. I think I will as well.
Yeah,
much appreciated. Thank you very much.
And anything, any new releases or anything like that you want a bit of a push from our end, just send us something through to the Pick and Licks page, and we'll be sure to share it because we want to share everybody's work as much as we can.
Amazing. I really appreciate that. And obviously,
no worries,
this will be going everywhere that I am. I'll be bashing this out because I want people to know that I've got good taste in band members. Apparently, so
you definitely do.
Very good choices.
I'm biased, but I think that's a band I would go and see. I think, but I guess that's the point, though, isn't it?
Exactly. You wouldn't make one that you wouldn't want to see. Well, maybe you would.
Yeah. Maybe next time. Next time.
That's a different podcast.
Worst band, but maybe. Who knows?
The Nightmare podcast. Nightmare Band podcast.
It's coming. Do one for Halloween.
Is there any release dates, like tour dates and things like that you have offhand, Nate?
Not off the top of my head, but it's going to be most of September. We're going to be playing with Blitzkrieg. It's going to be in Europe for the most part.
Okay.
UK shows pending, but keep your eyes on the socials. Will be announced as and when.
Brilliant.
Wicked.
For the Guitar Arm Wrestling League.
Coming your way.
Is there an Instagram for that?
There's going to be. When we get it started, very quickly, I've got to tell you the story behind this. So this is me and my friend Stu Shields, great guy. And I've known Stu for the longest time. And he was a gym rat long before I was. And we always joked that if you ever met John Petrucci, who was Stu's favorite guitar player for the longest time, still is, he would have to arm wrestle him because Petrucci was getting pretty big at the time. Stu was getting pretty big at the time. And I'm like, you got to arm wrestle him. So fast forward to NAMM 2018. It's my first NAMM and Stu's first NAMM. And I get to interview John Petrucci. And I call Stu and going, if you can be at the Ernie Ball booth in 10 minutes, I'll introduce you to John Petrucci. Amazing. So he's there, and the interview's already started by the time he gets there. And we get to the end, and John's been just the most pleasant professional, as he always is, and just like media training par excellence. But he's a lovely guy. He's like that off camera too, but he's just a little bit more Long Island. The cameras have stopped rolling, and I told John, I was like, John, I'd love it if you just meet my friend Stu very quickly. He's a huge fan. He goes, oh yeah, no problem, absolutely. And he went, I hope you don't think this is weird, John, but we did have a bet that if Stu ever met you, he would have to arm wrestle you. And John goes, I'm down, let's go.
Brilliant.
And Stu, I will never let him forget this. He backed out. He was like, no, I couldn't possibly. Let me just shake your hand instead. And Truth, no word of a lie, leans in and he goes, pussy.
Brilliant. That's amazing.
And that's where it's all started. So yeah, inaugural Guitar Player Arm Wrestling League. We're accepting applications, never. But it's going to happen one day. Who knows?
One day.
Class.
You need to start bulking up, Danny. But you need to start bulking now.
That's it, man. Yeah, start crushing those protein shakes.
Your arms would snap. Yeah. You'd snap.
Maybe we need weight classes. Who knows? We need weight divisions.
That's a great idea.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm not pretending I'd get very far. I'd get crushed pretty quickly. I think Jared James Nichols would be the dark horse for that. He's a big boy.
As well.
What about the guy from Deftones?
Stephen Carpenter.
Stephen Carpenter. He's a big lad. Big
lad. He's
Is he powerful?
He's quite sedate. I don't know if he has the dog inside him.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's too chill.
I don't know.
Too chill.
I don't know. Applications on a postcard.
Oh, amazing, dude.
Oh, amazing. Cheers, dude.
Cheers, dude.
See you later, guys. Thank you very much.
dude.
Bye. Well, hey.
Here he is. Welcome back.
That was a strong signal, actually.
It was a very strong signal.
Looking at the screen.
Some would say maybe too strong,
Maybe.
but we'll crack on anyway, shall we?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Oh, what a great guest.
Oh, amazing. Nick's a great guy.
He's a good one, isn't he?
Yeah, very impressive guitar player.
Very impressive guitar player, but I was very envious of his studio.
Yeah, I was getting studio envy.
He had all the multi-camera setup.
Yeah,
one day.
I think we have got a little bit of the footage somewhere, so maybe we can put it into an Instagram clip to show our listeners just how ridiculous his studio setup is.
We can do some splicing.
Indeed.
So, dude, his dream band.
His dream band. Should we start with Nick?
Oh, let's start. Let's go for it.
Nick's going to be playing guitar.
And we've listened to a bit of his stuff, haven't we? What band was it again?
Saints of Arcadia.
Ah, yes.
We listened to a few tracks. There's a particular album that had like loads of X's and M's and I's on it, which we couldn't really pronounce it, could we?
Well, I think it's Roman.
Yeah, but I'm not very good with
numerals. Yeah, Roman numerals.
Yeah, I'm not very good with Roman numerals.
And M's 1,000, so there's a start. X is 10, V is 5.
Okay,
we could probably have worked it out if we'd have stuck at it.
Maybe there's some cool tracks out there.
We're unwilling to do that. Was more interested in listening to the music.
Indeed. I mean, we jumped straight to the latest track, One by One.
Oh yes,
and it's like, I don't know, it had a little bit of a Foo Fighters kind of vibe to me.
Yeah,
thick production, chunky, thick production. I'm really impressed with his voice. I couldn't believe. Yeah, well, I didn't know he sang actually before the actual interview.
I really think that's going to be a theme with this band, though, with having great vocalists on kind of other instruments, as well as obviously the main event.
The main event, yeah, which we'll come to.
But I think it'd be great. I mean, there's some great solos in there as well, wasn't there?
Oh yeah, I mean that's to be expected. It was like, yep, we're working towards the.
We could hear
some
them
cream
building.
in the mix.
We could hear them building, couldn't we? Some cream in the mix.
Some cream in the mix.
Oh,
some guitar
drop
cream.
some cream in it. Oh. Is that what you call it? Guitar cream?
Oh, fuck's sake, Dan.
It's only a little bit. I'd have kept it in.
I was getting a bit of a I hope Nick takes this as a compliment, but like a bit of a Richie Sambora kind of vocal influence.
Okay.
With like the way he uses his vowels and there's a bit of grit in there and stuff. It's definitely worth checking him out if you've not heard his band.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And give him some...
give him some what?
Some support on Instagram and YouTube with his lick library work and...
Oh, he does loads,
Guitar
doesn't he?
Interactive. Yeah. He's everywhere.
He's a man that's everywhere.
He's a man that's everywhere. Insane guitar playing, and he knows guitar tone as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All the demos I've seen, it doesn't matter what he uses, he manages to get a very good sound out of it.
A usable tone.
A usable tone. Sometimes
rare.
There you go.
There you go.
Which is probably not very useful for some guitar companies. It's like it sounds the same as he makes anything sound good. So
even a Behringer.
Even a Behringer.
No offense to Behringer, if you're listening. Right, who have we got on drums?
We've got Pat Torpey.
Oh, the legend
from Mr. Big, or as I've written down here.
What have you put?
Mig.
Oh, can't right now.
I got distracted.
Okay.
He's on drums.
He has a very, very big sounding drum kit.
Huge.
Especially from those early 90s albums.
Yeah, but even on that 2011 album with the track Undertow. So we listen to that. I like that song.
More modern production on that.
Yeah. He plays for the song.
Oh, definitely. I mean, when you got the guitar solos happening and stuff, you don't want to overplay.
No.
And he doesn't overplay, which is great. But it's massive. He's got a massive sounding kit.
Huge. I think he's got a really good, rock solid placement as well. With this, I was talking to you about the kick drum.
The kick drum, yeah.
I admired what he was doing with that, how he was working. I mean, it's like busy music, isn't it?
It's very busy
There's
music,
a lot going on, and finding those, I don't know, those kind of tasty...
Well, it's a bit sort of going to hook you, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Like you've noticed it straight away, so it's kind of hooked you, hasn't it, really?
I'm always intrigued with what drummers do with the kick drum, because, with intricate music... It's tempting to sit there and...
What, just double bass your way through it?
Yeah, well, syncopate. I mean, the bands that we've played in...
there's a lot of syncopation.
Because it's riff-based, it's been syncopated, hasn't it, a lot of the stuff. So it's interesting to hear how other drummers
I think it's often harder not to syncopate, isn't it? Syncopation is I suppose it's the easiest option.
Yeah, it is.
When I'm playing bass, that's where I go to straight away. Oh, I'll just syncopate with a beat. But it's not always... It is just the easiest option. It's not always the best option. musically.
It's just like tasteful placement, isn't it? And working where I mean, he dropped his kick drum out completely at one point, didn't he? He was like, it just.
We did play like Let's Try and Find the Fill as well, and he's very light on them, isn't he?
He is very light, but there was a track off. I think it might have been Green Tinted 60s Mind.
Oh yeah.
I remember hearing a fill on that. That was very.
He can
tasty,
clearly do them. He just
Yeah.
he chooses to hone back his power a little bit, I think.
Yeah, if we go back to another episode and use a quote from Phil Dyer,
Go for it.
how he was saying about he's got his power drill,
Yeah,
like it's classed as a tool.
it is.
You don't need to use the drill for everything in your life.
Yeah, you don't have to, but
I'm paraphrasing.
obviously that's the first option I go to at any point. I put the drill on the maximum power and I press it full blast into anything I need to do. I brute force my way through life, Daddy. So it's nice to come across a drummer like Pat Torpey because it's the opposite of what I would do.
Yeah. So you'd use the power drill for anything?
Anything.
Like
So I was dismantling that bed last night. I'm sure we'll talk about it on a future pod in the intro.
Yeah, okay.
I was dismantling that bed last night. Where possible, I was undrilling and drilling stuff.
Drilling the shit out of the bed.
Yes, I had to break a bit off at one point. I didn't have any other tools to like slice or chop. I just drilled lots of holes until it evaporated, basically. Anyway, we're talking about the band. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, great drummer.
Yeah, I mean,
Really
great
drummer.
pick.
Yeah, great pick.
Great pick.
Rock legend.
Next up, my favourite bit, the bass player, John Paul Jones.
JPJ.
Again, he's been picked before because he is a legend.
Yeah.
And we have spoke extensively before about his crazily skilled bass playing. We talked about the Lemon song last time, but we have listened to it again today.
Yeah, we've got to mention it again.
It's always a joy to listen to.
Yeah.
There's all those little bass fills.
You picked out Black Dog.
Well, he's got that classic guitar riff at the start,
Yeah.
hasn't he? But the bass is following it. And it
just works.
And it's not just it works. You can hear the articulation in his playing.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just flapping it.
You're going to hurt yourself doing that.
I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm all right. But you can hear all the articulation in his playing, like the hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a bass player, but how do you?
Clearly.
Is that based on my bass playing technique?
It's disgusting.
Is his ability to have all that kind of articulation in his playing due to how he sets up his bass? Is it the way that he approaches the instrument, or
I think he just plays. He
settings,
plays
or-
pretty hard. I think.
Does he?
You can hear that in his. I mean, it's an old recording, isn't it? So you can hear a lot of stuff that you can't hear these days in recordings.
It's not been
In a lot of modern kind of rock and metal.
Over-processed.
Yeah, it's not been overdone. So you can kind of hear that where he kind of digs in a little bit.
Well, it's
It's
nice, isn't
lovely.
it? It's not overly compressed, is it? That's why you
Oh
probably
no, absolutely not.
you probably hear that kind of the ebb and flow.
But he's a very skilled bass player. So
Indeed,
I
his
mean-
choice of melodic lines as well, which you don't.
Well,
Sometimes
yeah,
you don't hear it in
Lemon-
bass playing.
Lemon Song's a great example of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little fills and melodies he plays in between the notes.
Absolutely ahead of his time.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. He's a really good player.
I think he'd work well with Pat.
Oh yeah.
I think they'd work well together. It would blend.
Again, though, Pat would leave plenty of space for him.
Yeah, with those intricate lines.
Yeah,
Like we said, with the kick drum placement.
it wouldn't be a mess.
Yeah,
It all come out clearly, I think. Be
Yeah.
really powerful.
that's what we need.
It is what we need,
Especially
with one of your. This is probably one of Danny's idol. I'm going to say it. Idols, gods. Would you consider him a god?
That'd probably make him feel uncomfortable, wouldn't it? But yeah, he's one of my. He's one of my.
Yeah. Well, you've met him. Did he feel uncomfortable? Did he look uncomfortable?
No,
when
he
you met
didn't
him?
look. No, he was a really cool dude.
He didn't.
He
He
was
didn't
a really cool
obviously
dude.
know you at that point. Did
No,
he?
he didn't know. He didn't know how much of a fan I was. He gets described as a triple threat because he's a amazing songwriter, amazing guitar player, amazing vocalist. I can't really disagree with that. Great guitar tone
Yeah.
on every recording. I mean, even when you go back to Thornley, the album that you like.
I like how you say like you don't like it yourself.
Well, no, I do love that album, mate. I do love it. But it's like every album, you can tell it's his tone, but he'll tailor the tone to what the song needs, which is a brilliant thing. It always sits really well. The cleans have got like this, just loads of delay and they're very, very compressed, very like plinky plonky kind of strat, out of phase. The in between sounds, which are really nice, and then the fuzz tones on his like rhythm sounds are massive.
They really are, especially in that first Thornley album.
Yeah, Yes.
especially in that madness.
You did a cover of that, didn't you?
I have. I've not released it because I don't like playing that Stingray. It's not a 5-string. I don't want to do a video of it really, but I've covered it.
Just play it out.
Danny,
It sounds great.
That was just for you.
Yeah, thanks, dude. It sounds great.
It came on my random playlist, and I was like, "Oh,
I'll play that.
That sounds really easy to play. I'll play it. I've got a 5-string at the minute." But again, another theme of this entire band is power. I think everyone's a really powerful.
Yes, that's it, mate.
None of them hold any punches. None of them hold back.
No, and it's just going to be, and I think they're probably all going to respect each other massively and give each other the time to shine as well.
Yeah,
We're all going to blend really well.
Drums and bass will just be happy to be back.
Yes, and when it's time for Ian to break out to do his lead playing, I mean, I hope that Nick's doing lead playing as well.
Yeah, I think he will do. Yeah, definitely.
Ian's got that, he's got a lot of that Eric Johnson influence, a lot of Steve Morse in there. The way that he uses chromatics in his lines, it's like seamless. But on top of that, he's got the really melodic side of like the slide playing that he can play. So in songs like Albatross, and we just listened to the new song, didn't we? Believer.
Yes.
It's
really good.
Was like, you liked it straight away?
Yeah,
so
I liked it straight away, yeah.
So,
I will have to listen to that playlist you made me one day.
Yes, I think you'll enjoy it, dude. I put a lot of time and effort into that. But he's obviously going to be doing vocals as well, and he gets compared to this guy who Nick's choosed already.
We just listened, and very similar in the sound, the overall sound of their voice is very similar. So the vocalist, none other than
the almighty Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell, bloody hell. Again, power.
Yeah, and we've just flicked through everything from like Soundgarden to Audioslave to his solo stuff. Even his solo stuff varies from album to album. Pillow of Your Bones.
Doesn't sound like a very comfy pillow, does it?
No, it doesn't. But his voice on that is just like...
I mean, every album's a little bit different in how they approach like the sound. It's all slightly different as across the project. But there's one thing that's clear is his voice is just incredible.
Yeah.
It's
like every point of...
Again, it's the Miles Kennedy mid-range, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all in that. It's like that's that bass and how you kind of vary that a little bit.
Yeah, totally, mate. Totally. And it's the screaming. He's got that signature grit and scream that I class as being like the benchmark.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between him and Thornley, though. He's got a bit more grit than Thornley.
Yeah.
A different grit, a little bit more, a different overdrive in there.
But if you go back to like, we was listening to Soundgarden and we listened to Super Unknown, amazing album. Yeah. That's the album to listen to for me. We listened to Audioslave, Like a Stone, you love that track.
Oh, I love that track, yeah.
It's his lyrics, it's his songwriting, it's his delivery. And he's a great guitar player, actually, which people don't talk about enough.
The whole package.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him and Thornley doing, like, harmonising? Too many mids.
It's going to be amazing.
And then bring Miles Kennedy on stage for a little... encore. And Nick Jennison.
Yeah.
Bang them all together.
Yeah, it's going to be just vocal harmony bliss.
Vocal harmony bliss.
Miles Kennedy's done work with Big Rack.
Oh, is it really? What, Sangun?
Yeah, off their second album.
Oh,
there's a track on there. But they used to gig together when it was like Mayfield 4. And
okay.
What a lineup, dude. What a lineup.
Will it blend?
Will it blend? Yes, I think it will.
I think it's a decent band, that is.
Yes.
Really happy with that. I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily...
Have you got nothing else to add?
I'm just thinking then, it's not my dream band, but it's definitely a dream band, isn't it? It's definitely
It's
definitely a big band.
Headliner, worthy.
Definitely a headliner, worthy. Okay.
What did he name the band?
I don't know. You've just said it, so can you read it there?
Grappling Hook.
Grappling...
Can you remember the story about...
No, can you just retell it for me, please?
He went on tour and there was like this old woman who had a grappling hook in a bag or something.
Oh, actually, yeah, I can remember that. It's a great story. I'm not too sure it's a great band name, but you know what? I think
it's a great band name.
It's better than some of the band names we've had.
It's going to grab you.
Grappling Hook.
The amount of talent in this band.
Great merch.
Indeed.
So in that case, Danny, that leads us to... Danny, would you buy a T-shirt? 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 Put your money where your mouth is. Danny, would you buy a T-shirt? Danny, would you buy a T-shirt? Danny, would you buy a T-shirt? Put your money where your mouth is.
Yes, I would. Would you buy one?
I mean, yeah, Grappling Hook, Chris Cornell's face. What else do you need? Not coming out his face or going into his face, but I don't know, Chris Cornell grappling hook up a stage or something.
What about Chris Cornell singing, but the grappling hook is coming out of his mouth?
Oh, that's surreal, isn't it? Yeah, buy it. Obviously.
Whilst JPJ is holding onto the grappling hook like he's being fired out.
Maybe the grappling hook is on a bass string. Maybe it's a...
The thickest string. The fifth string.
Maybe the hook is John Paul Jones's finger.
Maybe. Yeah.
We'll knock some up with AI.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll knock some up, don't we? Would you go and see this band, Danny?
I'm there.
I mean, it's a festival headliner, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I've bought like
You bought
what's them kind of tickets that you get with to
what are you on
watch the
about?
sound check and stuff.
Well, like
the term?
VIP tickets.
Yeah, VIP.
You're the
I
VIP
bought
zone.
VIP zone, yeah.
Fawnley's trying to hide from you.
I'm one of them. I'm one of them at the front.
Fawnley's trying to hide from you.
I never stand at the front of a gig. I will stand near the sound desk.
Why is that, Daddy? Do you want to talk about that? Actually,
No,
you know what?
I just like-
You know what? I'm laughing at you, but it's a fair point. We did it last time I went to Rock City.
Yeah, I know the sound engineer can move around these days, can't they? Because they've got like a portable...
A portable pad.
An
a
iPad,
PP.
An iPad, normally.
Portable pad.
Where they can tweak stuff, but I don't know. I just like being near the sound engineer, hearing what he or she is.
It is always too loud at the front normally.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And if you stand too close to the front...
You never get a good mix. The bass drum can destroy you sometimes.
It can, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you got a fair point there.
Oh, I thought he was going to take the piss.
So everyone else would be stood at the front during this VIP section.
No, but now we've told everyone the reason.
You would be at the sound desk right at the back or in the middle.
Yeah, but we've just explained it to everyone. So everyone else is going to be there now.
Also, everyone that's going to that gig is going to... I suppose, yeah, they wouldn't know about it otherwise, would they?
Yeah.
Fair point.
So nobody's going to be at the front.
Fair play.
This dream band are going to be absolutely pissed off that nobody's
At the front.
close enough.
The sound desk could be just getting smoshed.
Yeah. The sound engineer can't see the stage.
That's going to go badly. Because of you. Well done, Danny.
About would you go and see this band?
Oh, yeah, of course I would.
Where would you stand?
You know what? I would go down to the front. But I like going down to the front to look at all the stuff on the stage. So I like to look at the pedal boards.
Oh, yeah,
I like to look at what amp they're using. I like to try and look at the settings on the amp.
You're probably a gear nerd, aren't you? You know, it's cool to get into
I like to look very closely at play styles.
It's kind
That's what I like to do.
It's hard, isn't it, when you've immersed yourself in stuff like that for so long? Maybe it does take away from the audible experience in a way because you're concentrating so much in the technique. And,
I know, it's hard to be a pure... I think we've mentioned it before. It's hard to be a pure listener, isn't it? Because you've got so much in your head that you want to look at and are used to looking at.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, how are they doing that? Oh, what are they using?
Oh, if I get that pedal, I sound just like them.
Yeah, that's never the case.
That's never the case.
Never the case. But yeah, just looking at the technique and stuff and yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
EQ on the ramp. I love it. That's what I'm into.
Mate, that's a big one, isn't it? Looking at amp settings because you're like, ooh, how much bass is on there at the moment?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know, we're geeks.
Yes.
Right. Where we're at, sorry. We've done the band, haven't we? That's it.
We've done it.
We've done the band. We've had Nick Jennison in. Great guest.
Nick Jennison guitar. Go and give him a follow on all socials.
He's got loads on social media, hasn't he, as well?
And if you've got big fuck off arms, get yourself signed up for
the guitarist arm wrestle competition.
Yeah.
Are you signing up, Daddy? You are a guitarist?
No.
And looking at you right now, you do have arms.
But I'm like Twiglet. I'm Twiglet form.
They're not.
No, I'm not very arm based.
What would you say you are based?
I look like my... You know, if you look at my hands...
You're hand based.
They just look like my hands are swinging from a couple of strands of cheese strings.
Your arms do look a bit like sweet potatoes, though. You know, when you get veiny sweet potatoes.
Yeah. What's the term? Vascular? Is that the right word?
Vascular sweet potatoes.
When you've got veins that are close to the surface.
Yeah, you're very vascular. Your veins are almost as big as your arms.
So how do we go into this?
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling. No, I wouldn't do it. I bet you'd give it a go.
No, my arms are too short though. I've got no leverage. You need longer arms really because I struggle with the leverage.
No, but would they?
No,
what about if you had an adjustable table where you were?
Why?
To make it fair.
Why we
if you had like the yellow pages to put your arm on. Do you remember that? The yellow pages.
I can, yeah. Hey, do you remember? Yeah, okay. I'll give it a go.
You give it a go.
I mean, I'm very heavily bicepped.
Yeah, You have got very thick biceps, haven't you? What was that creak?
That was my arm.
That's
I was just flexing my bicep and my arm cracked.
What about leg kicks? If it was a leg kick, you'd be good at that, wouldn't you?
I'd be good at leg kicks.
Well, now that your knee's a bit better.
Yeah, but my ankle still remains.
It might just shear off.
It's probably for the best.
Sort it out.
It's probably for the best. Oh, I found some, again, going off topic again. I found some of my old kickboxing pads.
Oh, did you?
Under my bed. So I have to bring them around. We'll have to have a kickboxing sesh.
Oh, we'll have to film that.
Guy!
Hits! Guy! You're clipping.
Oh, okay. Do some quiet ones. Hits! Guy!
You can't do a quiet Guy.
Guy!
Just back away from the mic. If you want to do one loud.
Guy! Oh, still clipping. You can edit that bit.
I'm leaving it in.
Right, great guest to have on anyway.
Yes, indeed.
Have you got any other messages to share? I can't remember where we're up to. Right. If you haven't already, I want you to click like or subscribe or whatever you're looking on and listening to this. Go and follow us and like us and share it.
Yeah, help us spread the word.
Was that too aggressive? Should I?
No.
Should I knock it back a second?
No, I want you to knock it up. Knock it up. Two notches. Go on.
Can I swear?
I dare you. Yeah, of course you can.
All right, you're fucking listening. Next time you listen to this podcast, if you don't fucking give it a like, a share, and a follow, I'm going to... Too much?
Too much.
And you know what? We do know where you live because we can find your bloody IP details from the internet. Too much?
He took too many notches.
Yeah, apologies.
But thanks to all of you. 5-star review, please.
Oh yeah, and that as well. I didn't even mention that bit, I don't think, in my threats. Enjoy.
Help us spread the joy.
That's all we're doing this for. Spread joy for ourselves and for others.
Indeed.
And we hope this has been a very lightly entertaining episode.
And informative.
And maybe that. Right. Time to say goodbye.
Until next time. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
We're so sorry to see you go, but thanks for tuning into the show.